How do you know if the board of directors is effective with a fully registered product? Now, it's a little different when it's traded versus untraded. If it's traded, they were vetted before they would be put on for the IPO. There's organizations that are looking at the company and issuing reports. There are just how's the stock price doing. It doesn't necessarily mean the board is effective, but at least it gives you a clue of where to look. If it's a non-traded vehicle, non-traded REIT, you have some issues just to begin with. A product doesn't become traded until they maybe have $1 billion of assets. You can afford to pay board members a fair wage for their time, and you can attract some strong board members because they can see what you have to get into. But a non-traded REIT in the startup phase, it's a risk. So the types of folks that you get for non-traded REITs, you're paying them maybe a third of what they would get if they were on a traded board. They're doing it for some other reason. They're not doing it just because they want to be on a board, that somebody's recruited them. Normally they have some kind of relationship with the sponsor. And that's not necessarily bad. It's just a different level of relationship. It's generally a much closer relationship. Well, with that as a starting point, how do you know if they're doing their job? Well, one way you look at it if it was traded is the compensation policy. But with a non-traded REIT, usually it's not self-administered. The sponsor is actually doing the administration. There's some kind of fee. It could be calculated a lot of different ways. But it's not a hands-off kind of relationship. It's already tied in. But the audit committee is the audit committee is the audit committee. In all of the registered firms, the audit committee hires the outside audit firm and they direct them. Look hard there. Look for how often are the committees meeting, how often is the board meeting. For both, it should at least be 4 times a year, quarterly. If you can, take a look at the minutes of the meetings. And you're not going to be able to redact all of it. They're going to redact some things so that you can't get confidential information. But you can get a sense of whether the board is actively engaged. You may be able to talk to a board member. Generally, it's not going to be one-on-one. It's going to be with somebody from the REIT on the board to make sure they don't reveal information that should be revealed to the full investing public. But get a feel for what that board is doing, because they are your main protection to make sure that what the REIT says it's going to do is what it's actually doing.